This one. This one is, I don't even know what to say anymore, how this name keeps coming round. So I'll bring it back on the screen here, and we're going to speak to, or listen to, I should say, a very notable colleague. Now, Mr. Lewis Steele from, we all know where he works for. We know Lewis. We all follow his channel, etc. We all know he covers Liverpool. It is about 2 a.m., I think, in the morning in Tokyo, where he is. But I have to tell you, I don't really care because I already sent him a message which he best answer when he wakes up around a potential Darwin Nunez redemption, because I've seen this trending quite a bit today. And if you're unsure of the context of it, let's just have a listen to Lewis Steele talk about Darwin Nunez in training from today.
DK and strikers, that brings us on to number 2, which is another striker knocking around this morning, and that was Darwin Nunez. He looked incredible today. Headers, volleys, lovely little one-touch finishes, getting himself about in the one-touch drills as well, sliding into tackles in them drills, nice first touches. He looked every part, the 80, however much money Liverpool paid for him. He looks brilliant. And in the 2 games he's played in pre-season, he's looked brilliant. Obviously, he was injured the other night, but he was looking good today.
So, that is fuel to the fire for some, isn't it? Like the trout to the fly for Darwin fanboys. And if you are a Darwin fanboy, obviously fair play to you. We're all entitled to our opinions. But you may well have seen it. That has fueled so many of them today, hasn't it? That, yes, this is the Nunez redemption. And also, part of that logic, you're probably guessing what I'm going to be talking about, the buzz cut. Well, I don't know if it is a buzz cut. It just looks like someone's shaved it or like held him down and shaved him all over on a number 6 or a number 8 or something, doesn't it? I don't really know what you call it. Just shave his hair, whatever. But comments like that from Lewis Steele, who I will be asking to explain himself on the message, as I already have done, and buzz cut has led to a lot of clamouring around Darwin. And then he even followed it up, didn't he, with a tweet, Lewis, saying that even when training had finished, Darwin Nunez is still working on his shooting. And this has obviously been fuel for certain people. And I get it. People are talking about, was it the hat trick against Stoke in the behind closed doors? There's his 3. The goal against Preston, where he closes down and all that. And because of the situation we're in and what's happened this summer, we need to keep him back because Diaz is gone. Chiesa, we can't let him go as well. So that all goes into the mix. Yeah, the chat panel is abuzz with the thoughts on this. And Ray K, very distinct there. It's all very well scoring a hat-trick against Stoke and in training, but when the pressure is on him, i.e. in front of a full stadium, he is diabolical. Sell, sell, sell. Steve Romania saying it's definitely the haircut as well. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a fan base as split as the potential redemption for Darwin Nunez and his buzz cut. There he is, looking calm and serene. Anti-Darwin from what you normally see, wouldn't you, in the Tokyo Temple from the shots this morning. Here's the thing about the Nunez situation so far this summer. We had the whole Napoli debacle. That actually went on 16 days, where Napoli kept going to get closer and closer and closer. And, what they were offering just seemed to be a million miles away from what Liverpool were asking. Liverpool didn't look like they were going to budge on that valuation at all. And inevitably, all gone. Didn't happen. We didn't get any deal. Napoli bought Luca, I think it is, from Udinese. All done. And then look at this from Ismail Mahmoud. I'm sure people know that the journalist tweeted a lot about Liverpool and had news before in the past that in regards to Al Hilal, yes, Darwin Nunez is an option for Inzaghi. Al Hilal have inquired about the player's stance through his agents and have approached LFC regarding their position of potentially selling him. No official offer so far, but that sounds promising, doesn't it? When you read that and thinking, we keep wondering, is this going to come? This offer from Saudi Al Hilal. However, just let's look at the timestamp on that. July the 14th. 15 days ago. Now, that doesn't mean, naturally, that nothing's happening, but this almost feels like saying this. It's not meant to be sort of bitter, but mythical post offer that's supposed to be coming from Al Hilal and Saudi. Well, where is it? That goes into the mix at the same time as well, people. And just to shout out an account, there's this account, and I'm not going to play the video, but if you want to look at it, called Salah Updates, and you probably guess what it's around, but there's a Salah update where there's a suggestion that he is saying goodbye to Diaz and Nunez on the pitch after the AC Milan game. Now, we know Arne Slot said that Diaz was left out for, transfer reasons, and we know what's happened. However, Darwin was a minor injury. Just seems to be, you can look into it how you want. Salah and Van Dijk do seem to be speaking the same way. But again, I'm not so certain about all this. I'm also not so certain about the rumours I'm sure you've heard over the last few days as well, that he is an option for Juventus and AC Milan. Here's the problem with that. Napoli weren't going to meet the price tag. What remotely makes you think that AC Milan, with their known financial issues, and Juventus, who, well, we can speak all day about their finances, couldn't we, are going to meet the price tag anywhere near what Liverpool are looking for? It's such an absolute reach to see it. I mean, K-Mac, being honest with his thoughts, they're saying teams won't bid 50 million because they know he's not worth it. And I've got to be honest, looking at the chat panel, the pricing seems to be somewhere between 40 and 50 million. However, Liverpool don't seem like they're accepting that, do they? But no Italian side is going to go remotely higher for Darwin Nunez. I think you've seen the max through what Napoli were prepared to pay in that regard. Here is, as well, the other reason. I'm going to put it on the screen why I think people still hold this Darwin candle, as I'm going to call it. They'll go back to that last season under Jurgen Klopp, won't they, at 23-24, and say, but do you remember how good he was at times? And do you remember the 18 goals and 15 assists? Yeah, the 33 goal contributions in just over 3 minutes. Okay? That's what it'll say. But that was the last season under Jurgen Klopp, where, for various reasons, this is not to be disrespectful of the great man at all, a lot of things were chaos, which suited a player like Darwin Nunez. Because all it takes is one little look at Darwin. And as people saying that, look at that ratio, it's good. But last season, 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 goal contributions in just over 2,000 minutes. I think that drop off, for me personally, really set it all. So I suppose the big question is, and you can answer it in the chat panel to see if you agree, do you believe of a Darwin Nunez redemption? Or do you believe Darwin Nunez should go? I've got to be honest, I can see people put in, yes, Nunez should go, like Stu there, and other people. It's done. I actually think a little bit for his sanity, for our sanity, for the fan base and everything that's going on, it would just be best for Darwin to move on. For me now as well, it would be great, obviously, if this ever does arrive, ever does turn up, But if you can get, 45 million? Yeah, it seems pretty unanimous there in the chat panel. I think you move him on, and I think you go, don't you, from there. However, there's still the odd chat creeping in saying, no, we need to keep him with all the outgoings as well. But that's a needle in a haystack style of job. So, yeah, for those thinking, I'm afraid that there is a chance Darwin Nunez redemption, and maybe, just maybe, to take it back to the beginning, maybe Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards have been on to Lewis still. Maybe the mentality is just do that little bit of talking up because we're in negotiations. Who knows? Doubt it, but let's try and be kind to Lewis for that. Just a factual observation he made, but always a good talking point there. So there we go, ladies and gents. As we talk it through, Isak and another, please. Do I think it's likely? Probably not. That's what my gut's telling me. Centre-backs, is it one or is it two? It's definitely one. Still these question marks, isn't there, around Mark Gay? There's other names now coming into the mix. A second one, a younger option. I think that seems to be popular for many of you as well. Is there a chance of a Darwin Nunez redemption? Not really, according to the chat panel. Not really, according to my thoughts. Stranger things have happened in football, but we will see. I don't think we really will. Will we at the end of the day? As the Talks Football says, Isak and Gay, that is the bare minimum for me. We will see what it brings. But there we go. Thank you to all joining in on the chat panel. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Some are quite expressive. There's a few contrasting opinions. No need to fall out with anyone at all in there. It's not that deep. We will see what obviously develops as time goes on. But on Tuesday night, the 29th of July, that was another big decisions at Anfield Index.